Let me say yeah!
Know something about the sector in which they're involved. For example, if you wanted to work in the banking industry and you wanted to be a competitive applicant for Royal Bank, it wouldn't be enough to tell them that you knew about finance and economics and e-commerce and those kinds of things. You'd have to be able to say something about the banking finance industry itself. So one of the things I always stress to students the first time I see them in a business or marketing course, no matter what level, whether it's first year college or fourth year university, is to emphasize that you need to personally develop some knowledge of 2 or 3 industry sectors, meaning something about the hotel industry or something about the automotive industry or the computer software IT industry, because when you graduate, your marketing and business work will be put in the context of that industry. And this is not something that we as college university profs do a very good job of emphasizing, but you need to develop this on your own. It's not something that's taught in a textbook or even taught in a classroom or any type of course material. The best way to do this is to read the newspaper on a regular basis and also use the websites of industry associations. And you can subscribe to free newsletters. For example, if you are interested in the automotive industry, you can get on the information newsletters from the APMA, which is the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, the Canadian Association of Automobile Dealers, and all kinds of things like this. So I'll give you an example. There was an ad in the newspaper this morning that said Porsche Cars Canada is looking for opportunities in sales, after sales, marketing, and public relations. And it says they're looking for people with a background in etc., 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 and also who have automotive industry knowledge or experience. So that's an obvious thing, because if you're going to work for Porsche, I mean, it's in the car industry. Now the other reason I mentioned this little newspaper ad is because you don't always have to think about yourself when you're graduating as working for a big huge company like IBM or Nortel or Microsoft or something like that. Too many people think about grabbing the big apple in the sky, as to mix metaphors, as the most important thing, but in actual fact, working for those large companies, you're very vulnerable to being laid off if you're 24, 25, 26. Sometimes medium-sized companies are a lot better targets, and why not something exciting like selling Porsche cars? Now this doesn't mean you're going to be on the sales floor talking to people walking in kicking tires in the dealership. No, a company like Porsche Cars Canada does a lot of very sophisticated marketing, and they go through all the P's. Production of promotional material, websites, advertising, radio ads, TV commercials, evaluating price, doing market research on price sensitivity, all types of things related to product modification, and also location of dealerships and where they should be advertising and so on, and also the 6 environments. So the most important thing I want you to take away from this little clip though is knowing something about an industry sector. And if you haven't got any idea, then just base it on your previous summer jobs. If you worked at McDonald's, food service industry. If you worked as a bouncer in a hotel bar, hotel travel vacations industry. Or it could be anything like that. But you should develop 2 or 3 things, hopefully things that are not directly related but somewhat different. So if the economy goes down in one industry like travel and tourism because of SARS or 9/11, then you could switch over to something like the automotive industry. I hope that's helpful.